Okay, let's take a look at what's popular right now. Maybe if I find something popular, then I'll be allowed, finally, I'll be allowed by JetpackMan to get a new episode of That's Unpopular. Oh! Well, fuck it. If everybody else is hopping on the train, I might as well.
Thinking that I always was a lost cause. In spite of that, never cared what they said, the lies they fed. Call me the person that I am today. Call us the ones who trying to fade away. Call me not based on your opinion. We don't care why we follow this absurd thing. I am not alone. We are millions of words for us to create our own world. We can choose our fun to be just what we want.
Oh, hey, you're back. Yeah, I know, luck, right? I was actually allowed to get another episode of That's Unpopular after God knows how long with that whole stink with multiverses. And I'm actually really excited about the topic today, because today we're going to be covering, and I am not joking when I say this in the slightest, the one and only greatest Wolverine game ever made, that will forever be the best Wolverine game ever made, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition by Raven. Now this game for the longest time became literally a mystery to me for so long. I remember years ago when I first got my 360 for the first time ever, I did what most 360 gamers did for the first time, downloaded a fuck ton of demos off the Xbox store and just played all of them. And one of the demos I downloaded was the demo of this game here. And I played that demo so many times. Yeah, the demo was only the beginning part of the jungle level, but it was fun. My mind was blown. Being a big Marvel fan, really an actual proper Wolverine game that has fast-paced fighting, slashing, gore, pounding, like everything that embodies the character was here, and it blew me away. Even the way it looked was great. It shocked me how good this game was. So sadly, for years, as the years went on, no joke, this was a game I was always looking for. I went through so many stores, and no matter where I went, no matter how many EB games I hit up, no matter where I went, I was never able to find this game. So sadly, yes, you're looking through a childhood that sadly never had the game. I know, it's tragic. And then I found out later that the reason why was because this fucking thing was out of the blue banned or wasn't being stocked anymore and was now starting to become rarer. So life went on until finally, no joke, around like 3 years ago, yes, this is something I've finally been able to enjoy recently. Finally, I was able to snag a cheap copy of this bad boy off Amazon. Finally, someone ended up selling it for a fair price, and I was finally able to get my hands on it, and I was able to enjoy this masterpiece for what it is. Now, yes, if you guys want to know a little bit of backstory on the game, this game was a true passion project by Raven Software. Raven Software basically went into this big fight with Activision over wanting to make the game true to the character of Logan. And by that they mean blood-soaked mayhem. If you've ever read any of the Wolverine comics or even see how he is in the X-Men comics, that's how Wolverine is. He's crazy, he's bloodthirsty, he has a really tragic and loving side to him, but the nature of his being and how he fights is the violence. The origin story of how he became what he is also violent. And by that I mean in the comics, the Weapon X saga in the comics of the brutality he went through to get the adamantium skeleton, the wars he's fought in with so many different organizations and people using him and outright demented scientists, and the fact that his very power is a person that no matter how much he gets ripped apart, he always gets to heal and grow that back. Although always keeping in the details that it still hurts, even though he's healing. And the fact that you are literally a person where the character is a man with razor-sharp claws that rip out of his hands, yeah, I mean, making it a rated M game is kind of a no-brainer. That's who the character is at its core. It's supposed to be a very heavy-hitting, violent tragedy of a person forced into these circumstances that they never wanted to be a part of, but time and time again is forced into another war. And Raven knew that. So Raven fought tooth and nail, called Activision their bitch, proceeded to sleep with Activision's wife, and then finally gave us the game we wanted. Match made in heaven, if you ask me. No joke, for years I've always said, hey, if you guys ever do a new Wolverine game in the future, you guys should call Raven. I think they would do even better if they got to do a sequel to this or got to do their own Wolverine game without the restraints of the movie. Ah yes, there's the problem. The movie. Sadly, a few people has given this game shit for the fact that sadly it does have to be held in the restraint of being based on, and this one I got nothing against this opinion because it's entirely true, the very horrible dog shit trash fire of a film that is X-Men Origins Wolverine. And yeah, I won't lie, this movie is downright, it's bad. It is really bad. It completely butchers the character, completely changes what made Wolverine what he is, and then makes up some shitty as hell origin story. Yes, I own this. That doesn't even make sense towards the character. The same thing with Joker, there are certain characters that, it's not what you think, I have a reason for owning it. Since the character is so tragic and has such this ferocity to them, that making their story unknown is actually better for them. Like Joker and Wolverine, due to how tragic... I only got it because it comes with the Wolverine! It comes with the Wolverine! Wolverine's story is and how long he's been alive for and all the things he's been through, it works better that he's this blank mind, this person that's trying to always remember who he is, even at the same time always being hunted and hurt by the memories of things he cannot even fully remember, but is always trying to figure out who he is. It's one of the biggest straws that made him a great character and even makes him as good as he is in the X-Men cartoons and everything. The tragedy of him not knowing who he is and how long he's been around is one of the things that makes him great. So to just do a downright origin story that just by all means just looks and feels and sounds like a cheesy ass fuck 80s movie that literally didn't care in the slightest, didn't care so much that they even fucking did this to Deadpool, that's saying a lot. But that's one thing I want to pinpoint about this game as well. For this game, they also found a clever way around that. Yes, it's still basically playing through the events of the movie, but Raven Software did a cool thing where they did this cool story where even from that amazing, beautiful opening, Wolverine's a good movie! You're playing through the events of the movie mixed with their own original story, combining the events of the comic Days of Futures Past and Sentinels and what Sentinels are going to cause and characters from the comic and other mutants also being thrown in to build this whole story of stuff he also did on the side. Raven was clever and did this cool thing where they did a pseudo-original story. It is the movie, but we mix it with elements of the comic and characters from the comics to do our own thing, so it feels more like a Wolverine game. And that's also impressive. So we end up going back from Days of Futures Past to the movie's opening to all sorts of side missions. Like, oh, here's a side mission of when he worked with Mystique this one time to find out about the Sentinel programming. You can find all sorts of hidden messages throughout levels about the character from the comics who invented the Sentinels and his views on why he started to agree with destroying mutants and how big the prejudice is with people just having an outright fear towards mutants due to the fact that, due to their abilities and even the name of their species, Homo superior, just annoying them or making them scared that they'll be the ultimate race and trying to fight it. It's so well done that even the parts of the story are better. I mean, for fuck's sakes, in the movie, we got Wolverine fighting a fucking ladder. When the game chose to instead make a big, explosive, awesome battle with Gambit where you're literally fighting him through the floors of a casino until you get the big finale on the top of the high-rise. Like, even when it came to fighting bosses, even they knew how the fight should have been done instead of a fucking movie. So, yeah, for all that and more, even though it's shackled to this movie, they still found a way around that and still made it the Wolverine game to play. So, yeah, with all that said, and maybe even more, because there's just so much more to gush about it, to this day, I have always labeled this game as the definitive Wolverine game. No joke, whenever anybody asks me, hey, what is the greatest Wolverine game? If I, a Marvel fan, or a fan of X-Men or Wolverine, want a video game that is the definitive Wolverine game, like, you want Wolverine? This is it, baby. You're gonna get your fix. I will always recommend this one. And yes, to leave it on a sour note as usual, the new Wolverine game being made by Insomniac looks like shit. I saw the leak when it came out, and I'm well aware it's just beta. I'm well aware it's not final vision yet. It's not the final idea. But the voice acting was shit. Wolverine didn't act like Wolverine in that leak. The gameplay was literally just Spider-Man again, but with a changed fighting system. And all in all, it disappointed me. It looks like ass. I know the story's going to be shit. I mean, there's no way in hell those dumb fuckers at Insomniac can literally take a shit on Spider-Man 2, the game on PS5, to build such a great Spider-Man game and then to shit on it that bad. I'm not expecting these dumbbells to know what the fuck a Wolverine story is. I mean, they couldn't even figure out fucking Spider-Man story when it came to Spider-Man 2, the game. They couldn't fucking figure out Spider-Man story when it came to Miles Morales, the video game. So I'm sorry. But no, I don't agree with those views. X-Men Origins Wolverine will always forever be the greatest Wolverine game of all time. I will even prefer it over that new garbage Insomniac game that they're working on. And I already know in every regard, even though it's based on a shitty movie, it's going to be better than it. I already know that. Alright. And, like usual, like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out my other content. But, as I usually always say, if you are a high contrarian critic that can't take things for what they are, as they are, and only like projects for hypeness, things like that, and do not enjoy the little projects, the simpler projects, and can enjoy a simple fun thing for what it is, as it is, then kindly, with all due respect, fuck off!
Feel bad.